Good morning, everyone. Well, I guess technically it's afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me live today. So first of all, Mom, if you're feeling stressed, I totally get it. I get you. I've been there. I know there have been some days where I'm just like, I need 5 minutes to myself, and we're all over the place. We feel like we can't do things successfully. We just feel like we're all over the place, and then we snip at our child, and then we feel guilty. Can you relate to any of these things? It drives me nuts. And I know there was a big part of my early motherhood where I felt really like I had no control over my emotions. And so I wanted to share 3 tips that have really helped me find peace, because the truth is we're all going to be busy, right? I mean, busyness is just a normal part of life. But what I have found is that when we live life by our priorities, there's more balance and there's more peace. And so if you're feeling stressed, it could very well be that your priorities are out of whack. How can you tell if your priorities are out of whack? Honestly, it's where you spend your time. I know for me, it's like, I want to spend more time with God, for example. And so I'm like, I want to have my daily devotions, but it's hard, right? It's hard to break and create habits. And that's why this video is really important. So I'm glad you're joining me. Make sure you stay tuned the whole way through, because the last tip is the most important. And I believe this is why most people struggle with change. Reaching their goals is because of this. And stress impacts everything. It impacts our mood. It impacts our activities, because our mindsets dictate and kind of steer our actions. So this is really a big deal. So here are my 3 tips to help you de-stress and make sure you're living your life by your priorities. So the first thing is this: you need to write out your priorities. What are they? Are you very clear? Are you living intentionally with your life? That way you know your time is going to the most important thing. So what are your priorities? And make sure to rank them in order. You know, for me, it's like God is right up there, but so often it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, where did I spend any quality time with God? Have you guys ever been there? So hold yourself accountable. Do it right now. Why don't you comment below with your priorities? For me, it's God, family, and then purpose. Like, I'm very passionate about the pro-life movement. As you guys know, I'm very passionate about empowering other women so they can be at home with their babies and still live a life of passion and purpose. Not that being a mother isn't purposeful in itself, but women who want to do more, you know, and that's very important to me. Empowering other women to build homes in, not build homes, but home businesses, right? So those are my priorities. What are yours? So comment below. So that's the first thing, is you need to write out your priorities. Next, you need to schedule them. You need to treat your priorities like they are an appointment. So if you have an appointment that's like a non-negotiable, you don't think about showing up whether you feel like it or not, right? You know it's important and you show up and you honor that person's time. Well, listen, you need to begin to honor your time too, because time is the most valuable thing we have, and we're so sometimes lazy with our time. We just kind of are reactive instead of intentional with our time. So that's step number 2, is you need to schedule it. So if you want to have devotions and you want that's something that's important to you, and you want to make sure you start your day spending time with the Lord, you need to schedule it. And you need to, no, Suggs, you need to get down, buddy. You're going to knock over my camera. Sit, please. So you need to make sure that you schedule it in your phone. You need to do whatever it takes to have that reminder that says, hey, this time is set apart for God. Okay? So that's tip number 2. And step number 3, and this one I believe is the most important, and I believe this is, again, why most people struggle with their goals or New Year resolution. It's like year after year, they have the same resolutions and they never really get any closer to them. And this is why. It's because they try to make too many changes at once. So the third tip, oh, I thought that was my son. I was like, how the heck are you crawling up here? But anyways, the third thing is that you need to focus on just one thing at a time. Okay, so while you're trying to start living your life by design and living out your priorities and making sure the important things come first, only focus on one at a time. So if you want to make more time in your day for God, right? You need to write your priorities, schedule your priorities, and then you need to focus on just one of them at a time. So if you feel like, oh, I want to spend more time with God, but I also want to spend more quality time with my family. I also want to start working out. And you have all these goals and everybody tries to work on them all at once. But focus is the key. Focus. Taking all of your attention into one area. I just listed, and this is kind of a bonus. Suggs, you've got to get down. Sorry, guys. I have a child and a dog who want my attention. All right, thank you for giving me your paw. Go boy. So, no. All right, come on, down. Down. Thank you. So, I just listened to a podcast, and this was just a little bucket. Listen to me today, guys. That's why I love live videos. You guys love live videos. I love them because sometimes people do bloopers like I just did. Come here. You want to say hi? I just listened to a podcast by a mentor of mine. Say hi. And she was sharing a tip from a 100-year-old millionaire. And like he did this seminar, and they thought he was going to come with this really long, like pages full of tips and information on how you live your life more intentionally and be successful like he was. And he had one thing on there, and it was the word focus. And then he had a quote that said this: do less things more often. Oh, how did it go? Do less things more often. Yeah, do less things more often, because and do them well. Learn to do them better. And that's because, again, focus. When we it's like taking what are those things called? I should have thought this through a little bit better. What are those things called? And you use it and the sun beams through it and it can like literally start a fire. A magnifying glass. There we go. It's like the magnifying glass concept. It's all that focus and intensity into one area and you can start a fire. Guys, that's what we're looking for. You need to start a new fire in your life. Live the life you want by design and living your priorities out. That's going to bring balance and peace. And guys, this is why it's so important for those of you who are believers like myself. Listen, I'm speaking to you because I know there's so many moms I talk to and they're always talking about how they're trying to find themselves spiritually or spend more time with God, and it's always their goal, and it's like, why is that though? Like, that's your priority, but it's always lacking. And I get that struggle. That's why I'm sharing this video with you guys. It's simply because of this aspect. We don't have that intensity. We don't have that focus. So just focus on one change at a time. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So work on that one area for 3 weeks. Set reminders. Make sure you show up every single day. And guys, here's a tip. It's easier to create habits when you do something at the same time and place every day. So if you decide to have morning devotions, try to do it at the same time and place every morning. You might be saying, oh, well, my kid gets up early. Guys, if it's a priority, get up early. Get up before your son gets up. Don't let the excuses in your mind hold you back. And this is, again, why it's really, really important, because God says when we are faithful with the small, he will entrust us with more. He will make us ruler of much. And if we're not consistent and we're not dedicated with our time, if we're not faithful with our time and our priorities, how is he going to give you people who follow you in a business to trust you, to follow you? Guys, you've got to be faithful. I know there's so many women who want to do more. They have all these, they're advocates for these things that are they're passionate about. They have these home businesses that they'd want to start, but they feel like they don't have time. It's because you're unfaithful with these small things. This is one of the game changers in my life. So if you're just joining us live, make sure, come here. Come on. Make sure to go back and listen to my top 3 tips on how to de-stress and make sure you're living your life by your priorities. The number 3 is really, really important. And trust me, living your life by your priorities will help you find peace. It will help you find balance. And I know sometimes as a mom, like I've said before, sometimes it feels like our life is out of balance, right? And it sucks. It's miserable. And then we're snippy with our kids. And then it just kind of sets our mood for the day. So I hope you guys have found this valuable. If you want to hold yourself accountable, guys, change starts now, right? Action. Action is what's going to get you there. Listening to this is step 1, but action is what's going to get you closer to your goals. I want you to comment below with your priorities. Are you shredding? Okay. Anyway, it's time to go. The kids are acting out. Make sure to comment below, guys. Write your priorities out. This is really important. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome freaking day, and I will catch you guys later. Bye, guys.